Okay, hello. So recently I just finished directing my first short film, and I just want to show my experience during that process and what I've learned. So this project was a part of my beginning video class during the summer. It was a short 6-week course, so it was pretty fast paced. And the prompt for this project was it had to be under 5 minutes, more than 2, little to no dialogue, and multiple tracks of audio. Other than that, we were pretty much able to do whatever we wanted. And so for that project, my group decided to go with my idea, and because of that, I was going to direct the film. Within my group, I've never directed any other projects before, so this would have been my first time. And so right away, my role was to do most of the pre-production work, as we were on a pretty tight schedule, and we only met once a week, so I was in charge of pretty much all the pre-production. And that leads me to my first point of what I learned, and that's the importance of pre-production. Of course, I knew it was important, but I didn't know how much it would come in handy on the shoot days. So to prepare, of course, I made a shot list and storyboard. These are totally invaluable on the shoot day. It's just something to fall back on when you're not sure exactly what you should be doing. You know that, well, we have to be doing this shot and this is how it should look. And to make this storyboard, I decided to take pictures just with the camera. I know it's very popular to draw. I'm not much of a drawer, so I did that. I just shot pictures around my house of just kind of how I wanted the shot to look with a stand-in. And for the whole pond scene, I actually went to the location that I was going to be shooting at and shot the storyboard there. I think this is a great way of doing things because it serves as a location scout as well as a way to create your storyboard, and you can find exact frames and locations that you're going to be shooting at, so that was very helpful. In the end, though, I don't think it really matters whether you do drawings or pictures or any other way. As long as it's thorough, I think that's the most important thing. As a director, I also had to define roles for the crew on the day of the shoot. I'd been with this group for a few weeks at that point, so I kind of knew what they liked doing, what they wanted to improve on, what was tough for them. So I definitely tried to cater to that. And as this was our final project, we wanted it to be our best work, so we put everyone in pretty strong positions, but still in a place where they would be challenged. I think one more thing that's important to do is to create 3 to 5 words that you can tell to everyone on the crew to just keep in mind while the shoot is going on. These are words that you want to bring out in the final piece, maybe emotions or a certain aesthetic. Just because no one's going to have the exact idea of what you want it to be, and they may not memorize, a whole page long treatment. So having those 3 to 5 words makes it easy for the crew to just say, is what I'm doing creating any of those words? Is it contributing to that goal? On this project, it was my first time really lighting scenes. This was a pretty fun experience. Our equipment was limited to 1 200-watt light and 2 small LED panels and a flag and a 5-in-1. So it was pretty limited, but one thing I did do is I went to the location the night before and started trying out some lighting setups I was thinking of beforehand. This really helped to kind of finalize the look and save time on the day of the shoot. Yeah, I just try to keep the lighting pretty simple. One thing that did come in useful, especially for the bedroom scene when we had a light shining through a window, it was good to have remote control of the light just from my phone. It's definitely not needed, but it stops me from having to put someone outside and talk to them through the window, telling them to change settings, and I can look right at the camera feed as I'm changing things. And while lighting these things, one thing I learned was just how much ambient light affects the image. Even in this house with not too many windows, there was still a ton of ambient light coming through and kind of diminishing the effect of the lights that we did add. So next time I definitely want to incorporate more negative fill and just ways to block out light so we can add them in ourselves and be more intentional with the light. And one thing that became apparent after shooting was the importance of continuity. I remember my editor came back with a rough cut, and the day after we finished shooting and was saying, after I had the wrong shirt on, we were missing a few shots, and so that just goes to how important the pre-production is, being thorough with your shot list, as well as having someone on set that is specifically watching out for continuity and looking out for to make sure the story makes sense, because those things can really get lost, especially when you're shooting out of order as we were. So definitely don't skimp out on having someone watch out for continuity. This was also my first time working with an editor. I wasn't editing this myself, so I was getting rough cuts and fine cuts back, and it really challenged my vocabulary and being specific with what I wanted. I couldn't get across with words. I did have the footage on my computer, so I was able to create little sequences to show exactly how I wanted it. But it was definitely really cool to see how everything came together kind of before my eyes. So directing for the first time was very challenging, but a very rewarding experience. Being a director really gives you a hand in every single step of production, so I think anyone, even if you're pursuing a specific role, should definitely try it, just because you see everything that goes into making a film. So if you are going to direct, make sure to be really thorough with your pre-production, pay attention to continuity during the shoot, and just make sure you have a strong vision of what you want going into it so you can lead effectively. As always, these experiences are extremely beneficial to streamlining your workflow, which the more I do this, the more I realize how a good workflow is going to save you so much time and energy, and is one of the things that isn't talked about a lot but is super important. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this, and hopefully you learned something from this, maybe not. If anything, this is just a way for me to learn and reflect on my experiences, and yeah, that's it. Oh, and if you would like to watch the short film, then it is also in the description. Okay, that's it.